All right, this is video 5.4. We've talked about parallel and perpendicular lines. We've talked about points and planes and lines and rays and line segments. Today we are going to talk about polygons. So a polygon in general is just going to be a closed figure that's in a single plane formed by 3 or more segments. So you could say a triangle is a polygon, but there's way more different types of polygons than that. Most of these phrases you should be familiar with, stuff that you've learned in classes before. So a triangle has 3 sides. A quadrilateral is any 4-sided figure. A pentagon is going to be 5-sided. Hexagon is 6. Heptagon is 7. Octagon is 8. And I'm not going to make you learn any of them past that, but if you has n number of sides, we would just call it an n-gon. All right, I would give you a name. Just know that it's related to how many sides it has. If you're looking at the prefixes for these words, tri means 3, quad means 4, penta means 5, hexa means 6, hepta means 7, and octa means 8. So if we're wanting to find the sums of the angles in the polygon, so we've already learned that in a triangle there are 180 degrees. Well, not all polygons have that same rule. They don't all add up to 180. They actually add up to more than that. The more sides and more angles you have, the more the total sum of your angles is going to be. So let's look at an example of a quadrilateral. So if we have this quadrilateral, the way you could figure this out, because we know that a triangle, they add up to 180, how many triangles could you get out of this quadrilateral? If we have a line, we connect it angle or corner to corner, that corner to corner, how many triangles do we have? Right? Well, we get 2 triangles, and this triangle, the sum adds up to 180, and this triangle, the sum adds up to 180. So we have 2 triangles, and each of them are 180. For a quadrilateral, the number of the angle measures, the sum is always going to add up to 360 degrees. So every rectangle and every square, which are quadrilaterals, their measure of angles is going to add up to 360 degrees. So a triangle, which is one triangle, is 180, would be 180 degrees. A quadrilateral has 2 triangles in it, so that is 360 degrees. Well, what about a pentagon? How many triangles can we fit in there? Going from the same angle, we'll just take this one right here. I can split this into 3 triangles, and each of these triangles has 180 degrees. So a pentagon, we would say, is 3 triangles that are 180 degrees each. And so that would be 540 degrees total. I want you to see if you can see a pattern going there. If you have a hexagon, it's got 6 sides. How many triangles do you think you could get out of it? So if a quadrilateral has 4 sides, and you can get 2 triangles, a pentagon has 5 sides, and you can get 3 triangles. How many triangles do you think you can get in a 6-sided? Turns out you can get 4 triangles. I want you to see if you can see a pattern there. A heptagon has 7 sides, so we would be able to get 5 triangles. So the pattern is you're going to take your n, which is how many sides you have, minus 2 is going to give you the number of triangles. And you're going to take that number of triangles and you would multiply it by 180. That's going to be your pattern. Right, so the sum of the angles of any polygon can be summed up in this formula, right? So you take your number of sides and you subtract 2. So let's say it was a dodecahedron. Let's say it had 10 sides. So we've got 10 minus 2, so we would use 8, because we'd be able to divide that into 8 triangles, and we would take that 8 multiplied by 180 to tell us how many, the sum of all the measures. Now a regular polygon, all the sides are going to be equal, and the angles are all going to be equal. Not all of them are going to be regular polygons, but if we say it's a regular polygon, we can say that they're all equal. All right, so let's look at this pentagon here, and let's find how much these angles all measure all together. We can look at what the sum of the angles are using this formula, and then we can use that to find out what the individual measures are in this particular pentagon. Now, if they all have the same, let's first find out what the sum of our angles would be. So we would do 180 times 5 minus 2, so we'll do 180 times 3, which is 540. So we have x plus x plus x plus x plus x equals 540. Easier way of writing that would be 5x is equal to 540. Get our x all alone by dividing by 5. And we have x is equal to 108 degrees. So each of these angles is 108 degrees. So there's a few special quadrilaterals to keep in mind. A trapezoid, remember a quadrilateral has 4 sides, has exactly 1 pair of parallel sides. So in your trapezoid, you're going to have a pair of parallels, and then the other 2 won't be parallel. A parallelogram has 2 pairs of parallel sides, so like a square or a rectangle, so those are parallel and those are parallel. A rectangle, all it has is 4 right angles. It doesn't mean that your length of your sides are the same. In general, a rectangle has 2 sides that are longer than the other 2. A rhombus just has 4 congruent sides. It doesn't say anything about right angles. So both of these are going to be parallelograms. So a rhombus, it might be like this. So they don't form right angles. So a rectangle, they form a right angle, and a rhombus, they don't. They're more leany, but they still have 2 parallel sides, 2 pairs of parallel sides, and the sides are all going to be equal. So it's like a square that is tilted off to the side. So a square has 4 congruent sides and 4 right angles. Click on the link, complete the homework, and I will see you in class.